What's up, everyone? It's Cameron, and this video is a little bit different. I hopped on a phone call with Jared Plotka. He's another YouTuber. He also does not just Facebook dropshipping, but also he talks about all those other sorts of e-commerce and business related things on his channel. So definitely check him out. You've probably heard of him already. If not, you're gonna. So why did I have a conversation with Jared? I was approached by Jared, and he kind of was talking to me about something he was starting up, a service he's already been going on for a little while, and it's for full automation of your Facebook marketplace and shops. So I went ahead and did the conversation with him so that it could answer a lot of your guys' questions about how you can fully automate something. I know that you know how I use FBM Fox, and you know how I use myself, and I don't really use VAs or anything. I kind of do it the hard way, but I use, software to help me. There are some people like us who don't want to do any of that. They want to be completely hands off. They would rather just look at this like an investment. And that's what Jared's offering here. He's got basically where you pay him and he has his team completely do everything for you. Fulfilling orders, listing, all of it. You're super hands off. You just wait for your profit to come back to, your return on your investment, basically, which I ask him about if you want to watch the whole video. And he runs it for you. You get your money back, and then you get passive income off of that. Super good win. You just gotta pay for it. That's it. So you're trading money for time for this one, guys. And it's definitely an interesting concept. It's not something that I do, but I'm definitely interested in it. So there's not really one of these for Facebook Marketplace that I've seen that I've been really convinced about. So that's why I wanted to talk to Jared. It's definitely something that I'm learning about. So instead of me just having emails back and forth with him, we just hopped on a call and I recorded it with his permission, of course. He knew I was recording it so that you guys could see and just hear the questions straight from him. So I've done a couple of these before. I'll keep doing them again whenever they kind of come to fruition. But this is my interview with Jared Plotka. What's up, Jared? It's nice to finally talk to you.
Yeah, nice to finally get in touch with you.
I was glad you reached out. And I know I had kind of seen some of your videos before, and definitely had seen you out there. I know we haven't talked about that yet, but I have seen you pop up, and I was like, oh, this guy obviously, and I could tell just based off of like how you talk and stuff that you are probably like similar to me too, where it's just kind of like you have no problem talking on camera. You got no issue with that. You're just very knowledgeable and putting your
we just hop on, we just talk about what we're doing, right? We're not
Yeah. So I don't know much about, I know you started an automation business or service at least. And I just want to ask you some questions about that, if that's cool. Cause I know my audience probably is very interested in it. I do get people asking about this sort of service. It's not always just the free listers and stuff like that people are after. Sometimes they're after this and I just never have anywhere to send them. So just to get a little bit more information about you. Where are you from? People want to know.
Yeah. So I'm from Miami, Florida, Hollywood, Florida in specific. Moved up to Chicago for school. So I'm mostly living here in a little suburb outside Chicago. Plan on staying here probably a little bit longer, but the cool thing about us drop shippers is we can kind of go wherever as long as we have our computer, right? So I have definitely plan to travel more, going to Vegas in a couple of weeks, running a triathlon, actually, sprint triathlon. I'm training for that.
Nice.
So yeah. Lots of exciting stuff for sure.
So one thing with all of this is like, I know I said that you just kind of like popped up on my YouTube at one point. I've recognized you, but how did you get started in all this?
Yeah. So I started. So I saw some other YouTubers just talking about Facebook dropshipping. I had made really good money dropshipping from like eBay in the past. We had all these tricks to get all these discounts. I was like the annoying guy that like people couldn't compete with me on eBay. So I didn't have to list products. I just had to fulfill orders, and it was my full-time job. I had no VAs. I had a gajillion orders, and I worked 8-9 hours a day, literally just fulfilling orders. And then that kind of all fell apart because I did some stuff that eventually led a lot of my accounts to get banned and stuff like that. And then we just started, quite a while ago, we started with a couple of Facebook accounts, and then, we did it the correct way. And then we started scaling it mostly with friends and family. And then I started realizing we could just actually do automation and help people make passive income, which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's super awesome. So with what you're offering, I do want to know just a little bit more before I do have some more questions kind of on specifics, but like, what is it actually that you're offering? Like, what does it do? Like if I'm a new person and I sign up with you or whatever the onboarding process is, which I'll ask you about, what exactly am I getting from you?
Yeah. So everyone wants, everyone who hears about this, either they're going to do it themselves or they don't have the time. Right. And a lot of people, if they don't have the time and they try to squeeze it in, they really can't maximize your time, your time spent. And let's just it doesn't become worth it. Right. Especially if you're not doing good customer service and fulfilling your orders. And what we do is, we use a lot of labor in the Philippines. We have a huge team, over 20 people now in the Philippines. Not all of them do my dropshipping stuff, but we have over 20 in the Philippines. And, we grow as we get more accounts, and they're able to use their time. We're able to pay them, and we're able to make you money. Right. And we're able to basically turn that passive. Whereas if you're doing it yourself, is it really worth it? You can look at let's say I'm making 100 a day. I'm working 3-4 hours. You're making $20 an hour. Whereas, you can make 50, $100 a day and turn it passive. Right. And, we see pretty quick ROIs when you have someone working on your account all day, listing products, fixing your listings, things like that. So
sweet. So with that, I know there's a ton of people doing stuff like this. Why would somebody choose you compared to a competitor you may have?
Yeah. So me personally, I have one of the cheaper prices on the internet. One is because I'm a one-man band, and I've spent a lot of time. Most of my time has been on training my employees. Now we have a system where they're trained by my managers, and they go through different departments to be trained. But most of my management is in the Philippines. So I have a low cost of labor. I don't have CFOs right now. We're not big enough. I don't have COOs. So I don't have to charge as much as these other guys. I haven't seen an automation cost under $7,000. We charge $5,500 for a startup sign-up fee. We don't have any crazy hidden fees. We charge $5,500. It's cheap. It's low risk. Mm-hmm. And so, nice. Yeah,
that's awesome. So it sounds like it works really well though. How many, just because some people might be is this brand new? How many customers do you have, I guess, is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. So we run 13 accounts as of today. Just signed up a client today before I got on the call with you, actually. Sweet. So 13 accounts as of today. But we haven't been doing automation that long. So we're getting a lot of inquiries. A lot of it for me is just following up with clients. They have a lot of questions. I mean, it is, my full-time job right now is obviously answering those people's questions. And I take that seriously. I mean, if someone's going to invest a lot of money with me, I want them to know that I'm going to make sure they make their money back plus some, because if I was going to invest money with someone, I would expect the same. And a lot of these bigger companies, the biggest complaint and why I get a lot of clients is because these people won't even hop on calls with them. It's send us 15, 10, 20 grand, whatever it is, sign the contract and we'll get started. It's oh my goodness.
Wow.
People do it. So
that's insane. And you kind of already answered this part, but how many employees do you have completely? I know you mentioned you had 20 people on your team in the Philippines. Is that your employees basically?
22 with part-time employees, but yeah, so we have 22 employees. They do other stuff to help grow my YouTube and stuff like that. So not all of them work on the dropshipping store, but some of them we can convert them over from part-time as we need more and train them. So it's all on a for need basis.
Yeah. Well, I know that makes me always feel better too. With anything that I do online, if I'm starting something new, I'm damn, is this just like this guy? or is it, he got people who can support stuff and actually get stuff done when he's busy? Because I run into that problem myself. Even when I started just answering people's questions, I know that's not a job, but just questions on my YouTube channel, even it gets harder and harder because I get way more questions every day now. But if I had a team, for example, and you're talking about making money, making income for people. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely. We were just talking about that because, I have my little 300 subscribers. You got 4,000. I get tons of questions as it is. So yeah, I can't even imagine.
It blows up out of nowhere, surprisingly. What's an example of profit margins for you?
20 to 40%, definitely. We stay in that range. We have some tricks for Facebook shops right now, that some ideas that are definitely going to take up those profit margins. Definitely going to put up our profit margins. But for now, 20 or 40%, depending on the item, competition, stuff like that.
Hell yeah. You just mentioned shops. So are you going to integrate with shops, or are you already there? Like, how's that going?
Yeah, so right now we're going through a big switch within our company, right? We're going to make sure all our clients get on Facebook shops. We're signing them up. We're doing it correctly. Not everyone gets approved right away. So it is a constant process. We have full-time employees that are working on, creating your stores. There's certain things that I'll come out with videos soon about, making niche stores, doing things that they want to see, right? One of the biggest complaints I've seen is like, or one of the things, because I've been hopping on, because you can hop on the chat with them in the Facebook shops. And so one of the things they were telling us was like, if you're not posting and it looks like just a random page, similar to Facebook Marketplace, how you couldn't just create a random Facebook and have the shipping option. It's very similar to that. So we're just trying to make us look like a real page.
Legitimate looking. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing on shops is like, a lot of people's questions are like, what is going on with shops? Like, how important is it? What do you think shops is going to become? Like, what do you see? What do you forecast for shops just based on your experience of working on this kind of stuff?
Okay, so obviously, I'm sure you're the same. I watch a ton of YouTube, and I've come to the conclusion through all the things I've watched, all the information I've done, that it is really going to be like the next Amazon. The opportunity is like getting in on Amazon. And I at first thought it was more like an eBay opportunity, but with shops, right? Like, we can't even understand the marketing power that Facebook and Instagram have, right? So obviously they have these huge audiences, right? But like, they're making money right now. I mean, the selling fees are zero for a little while on Facebook shops, but they're making money if they sell our products. So they have no reason to not go on shops and put out our products on Instagram to people that want to buy it, right? If they don't have people purchasing keywords or putting in ad placement, then they're going to put our products there. So this is going to be huge in the future. And it is just, it's going to be crazy. Yeah.
I could definitely see that for sure. That's kind of what I was thinking before shops even like popped up. That's kind of what I was thinking like marketplace would become. I'm like, damn, they're going to scrap the whole Craigslisty thing and just like make this a business thing. But it turns out they did. They just swapped it over to shops, which makes a lot more sense. Now everybody's just scrambling to try to make it work. So with all that, why, just some simple, I know people do this a lot with Amazon, Walmart, stuff like that. Why not? Like, why did you choose Facebook over like one of the platforms that's already huge?
Well, so obviously the best opportunities are when there isn't as many people on it, right? So one of the things following up with our last question, being able to integrate everyone and grow their shops now, those will be long-term assets for sure, right? Those will be digital long-term assets. So, right, I don't want to go compete on Amazon where it's like you got to beg them to be in every single niche. It's crazy. So now we'll be indoctrinated into whatever kind of crazy things they have that come later on.
Yeah, for sure.
They're doctored in. Yeah.
I know one thing, a big thing everybody has been, stressed out about. It's a topic of many conversations around this stuff. How do you deal with suspensions and stuff like that? Like with somebody, they give you the money and now it's your job to kind of manage everything completely. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. So suspensions, one of the main things we talk about on my channel also is just like to deal with suspensions, you just got to handle it immediately, right? You got to hop on there, hop on chats or email chats with Facebook Marketplace. You need to get on it immediately. You have to follow up. You have to be consistent, right? Because sometimes you're going to get unsuspended immediately and sometimes you're not. But you always eventually get your account unsuspended. I run over, 13 accounts now, and we have suspensions all the time, especially because I use servers, which is another, virtual servers, which is another topic, but it actually leads to more suspensions. So I'm very equipped to dealing with them. And so it's all about just dealing with the problem immediately, and just making sure to follow up.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. Just because I'm curious, what, you're talking about your current clients, what's the fastest you've seen somebody ROI on that initial price investment? Because for some people it is a little high, but for some people that's super low. So like either way, no matter what end of the spectrum you're on, how fast have you seen somebody flip that and start profiting?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen someone ROI in 4 months, but typically it does take a little longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Every Facebook's different. Some perform a lot better than others. They all perform to some extent. But yeah, part of it's luck, and then part of it's how good of a job we can do. So the quickest has been 4 months, but some are quicker, some are longer. It's just, but we'll make your money back as
Well,
quick as we can.
I mean, you're talking about. I mean, so it's easy. Somebody like me who hasn't dabbled in that yet or anything, like it's easy to be like, what, like 4 months? Like some of these people, I get questions, they don't want to wait 5 days to get paid from Facebook. You know what I mean? It's like, you got to remember it's potentially 4+ months of you not doing anything,
Yeah. And
it's like you just got to wait.
People, yeah, exactly. What I tell people is like, you guys can go invest your money in the stock market. You guys can go invest your money in a million different places, but let's say you invest in the stock market, right? And you get a 10, 20% return. The average on the S&P, what is 10% a year, right? Mm-hmm. So you're happy with 10%. Mm-hmm. You're beating the hedge funds if you're getting 20%. So to me, it's like, I fail you if I only make your money back in a year. And then the next year I make 100%, and then we double your money next year. So to me, it's like a no brainer. So that's how I tell people to look at it, that have money sitting there. It's like a win-win for all of us, for sure.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I mean, that makes a lot of sense when you explain it like that to me, for sure. So what do you need to get started? I guess, like, if somebody wanted to do this, they hear this from you and they're like, you know what, I want to try that out. What do they need before they even come to you?
Yeah, so they do need a line of credit. I do work with my clients and help them get lines of credit if they don't. There are tricks with American Express to tell them you have a sole proprietorship and all this stuff. And then you can get like usually the green MX card, and you can get like almost unlimited credit. It adjusts to your credit, which is usually unlimited as long as you pay it off. So usually I don't have any problems getting any of my clients credit unless they had bad credit previously. Then we run into some issues. But besides that, it's pretty simple. They just email me. I'm not busy enough yet that I can't hop on a call with every single person and explain to them how our process works individually. If I get to that point, then we'll take the next steps, but I don't have a website right now. Nothing fancy like that. People just email me, they email me their questions and we hop on Zoom calls and we go from there.
How long of a process is all that? How quick is your onboarding process?
So the client I signed up today, I put him in a chat with my manager. When she wakes up, she'll ask him for all his information and we'll be listing on his account tonight.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty impressive.
It all goes well. Worst case scenario, 2 days.
Yeah. So assuming there's no hiccups and stuff, for sure, which, I mean, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most of my question. I was going to ask you, how do you like get clients or gain clients, but it's up to you. You want to figure that out? Yeah. My last question.
Yeah, so I'll answer that. Obviously referrals, right? We pay like a really generous referral fee. So like we'll pay a 25% commission. So I had one client who basically made the money back plus just in referrals. Because it's only, if you get like 4 or 5 referrals, you're already making your money back. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then YouTube and LinkedIn a little bit. I've been posting videos to LinkedIn. They get some good views, but besides that, that's about it. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much, if there's anything else you can think of, those are the things when you reached out, I was like, okay, these are questions that I would have. I know, people who watch my channel will have, and they'll message me asking for, because sometimes, I have these interviews and I start getting messages on my personal Facebook Messenger and be like, hey, they just want me like aside from the YouTube video, just in case I'm acting a little bit. And they're like, hey, what do you really think about this? And it's like, they usually ask stuff like this. So I was trying to think back and get that information. Definitely. But I mean, it all sounds cool to me. I mean, I've never done that, but I could totally see why people would, especially if it's like, they got full lives. They've got the money to do it, put it out there, get some money back, let somebody else handle the problems. Somebody who knows how to handle that stuff. So I think that's great.
Yeah, man, that's about it. I appreciate you having me on your channel. Definitely. You're the guy for Facebook for sure. So,
hey man, I appreciate it. I'll thank you so much for having your call with me. I appreciate it a lot. All right, guys, that was the conversation. It went pretty well, I think. What do you think? I don't know. I'd love to know how you feel about Jared. If you want to check out his channel, I will link it down in the description. I'm sure he'd appreciate if you guys went and subscribed to him as well. He does have some nice videos on this stuff, and he talks again, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, all about kind of e-commerce and business. He kind of talks about it all. So feel free. I can tell just by a conversation I've had, he's very knowledgeable. He takes it very seriously. This is what he does. So give it a shot. Now that we're at the end of this, here's the support part of the channel. What you can do to support me and my channel is to make sure that you're subscribed and that you like this damn video and that you comment on this damn video. Anything helps YouTube know that I'm awesome, or that I at least am not hated, and they help get my video in front of other people. So helps me out a ton. If you're brand new to drop shipping and you made it this far after just watching a whole interview about an expensive automation that you're probably not ready for if you just started, or if you did just start and you have some money to invest in something like that, do it. But if not, I got my course, $75. It's half off right now. Normally $150. So it's $75 right now. It'll get you up to speed on all the little things that we don't talk about anymore, so that you don't make the little mistakes that end up costing you money when you're getting started. Because when I got started, I didn't want to spend any of my own money. I ended up having to eat a couple things because I just didn't have the knowledge. So my credit card handled that, and I just waited for my profit to slowly pay that off. So do the course if you must. You don't have to. You can learn all the stuff for free like I did, no problem. It's just going to take a little longer. So if you don't have the time, you just want to do it quick. I've had people make sales same day. It took me like 3 days to make sales when I first started, but I've had students, I want to call them customers, but I guess they're students. I've had them making money immediately, so feel free to do it. If not, no worries. Links in the description either way. Also, FBM Fox link is always in the description if you're wanting to level up and start making drop shipping a little bit easier for yourself. Just sign up. They got a free lister tool if you want to dabble in it. Coupon code down there. Even if you just use the free lister tool, helps me out. If you ever end up buying anything, helps you out because you get 10% off. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, everybody.